Hello, I am Colin Jones and this is Encouraging Words. I just want to take the time to say thank you for watching this series of short videos about the things that matter. I want to readdress a previous talk that I talked about in late May. This is because some of the more recent events that have happened over the past 2 weeks, if you are wondering, it is the threats that have been made by both North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and the United States President Donald J. Trump that have caused me to make another video on the topic of enemies. Now recall from that video that I said that the Manchester Stadium attack had been one of my motives for that video. Well, at this latest bout of words that were exchanged after the United Nations passed new sanctions on the country last weekend. Matthew chapter 5 verses 43 through 45. You have heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven. The above verse was one of the two verses that I shared in that video. The only thing that can fix this situation would be to love those who hate you and not to react in the manner that Trump did in his fire and fury comments from earlier this week. That is exactly what Jesus is basically saying here in this passage. However, we have found it too hard to resist to make such a claim when one perceives a threat like the one that Kim made, and we love to lash out at the person. This despite the fact that when such a comment is made, it could have disastrous consequences for the world at large, just due to the amount of radiation that could be released in such an event. These things that have happened are to demonstrate this fact that I mentioned in the video in late May. We need to show love when we come under attack. Yes, Manchester was bad in the sense that people lost their lives in that attack. But what we have here is what I believe to be a much more dangerous situation that has developed between these two nations in a hurry. This is why I issue the challenge to be praying for those who persecute us at home and abroad, that God would be at work in them to open their eyes to see that what they're doing is in vain. However, I'd like to reissue this challenge to everyone who watches this video this week, as the stakes could not be higher now than at any time in history. That is all I have for this week. See you next week. Goodbye.